And good evening and welcome to beautiful South Shore Live. We are smack in the middle of Hillsborough County on the not the Gulf side, but the Gulf side of Florida. It is 83 degrees, sunny and beautiful here. We're sorry to hear that the rest of the place, the East Coast, is slammed with cold weather, and this is the reason why we live here. It is 6:45. It is beautiful. Thank you for joining us tonight. Angie's been traveling around. Teo's not with us tonight. We hope everyone who is participating in the show has a great time. Good evening. I am Howard, the unknown drummer, and with me I have Angie Fry Richardson. And we also have a special guest who has a business that she's going to talk about in a moment. We want to introduce you. And Angie, take over. Say hey.
Hey, I'm happy to be back after 10 days of traveling.
What's it like taking 10 whole days off?
A nightmare, to be honest. When you're an entrepreneur, it's a nightmare because I went on a girls' weekend to North Carolina to the beach.
So you got no rest.
It was cold. I actually never even walked on the beach because it was cold, and I live here, so I didn't need to.
That's true.
It was about enjoying time with my girls, but to be honest, they're like, "Are you ever not on your phone?" Because real estate right now is busy, and so I had a lot going on, so it was tough. And then I went straight from there, flew straight to Vegas. It was in Vegas for 5 days, and so. I can successfully say I did not gamble $1 until my way out of Vegas at the airport.
How'd you do at the airport?
Terrible. I donated $60 and called it a day. Yeah.
With us tonight, we have Pearl with us, and she is from Successful Living Women. What is it? One more time. I can't even read my own handwriting. Women's Successful Living. She's with us tonight.
Women's Successful Living.
And there you go. We have Joanne Duran.
Tonight's the night of the ladies.
Tonight is Estrogen Fest here on South Shore Live. And
Howard, no.
The second segment will be hosted by Joanne Duran from Tampa Bay Sports and Entertainment Magazine. So that being said, with us, we have Sister Sitters Pet Sitting and Pet Watching Services Co.
Yes.
And they are here in the Waterset area. And why don't you tell everyone first who you are and what you do?
Hi, I'm Gianna, and I dog sit with my sister. Our company is called Sitter Sisters Pet and Co. And we dog sit, we do drop-bys to check on your pets, and we love all animals and are willing to animal sit any animals, and we also do overnights.
And how old are you?
I'm 15.
And how old's your sister?
She's 16.
That's awesome.
And
I'm really, really proud of you guys.
You get two of these guys to come to your house at one time. So there's a lot of things that they can cover with two sets of eyeballs than rather one set of eyeballs. As well, you're supporting a local grassroots, local business and entrepreneurs at their age. They offer multiple services, but I always think this is truly cool. You've got a lot of young families in Waterset and Mirror Bay. And the thing is that you may have a dog, you may have a cat, but you know what? You may also have an exotic pet, like, I don't know, a snake.
Hold on. Will you take care of a snake?
Yeah, of course. I actually
a rabbit.
A snake of my own.
A rabbit, right?
Okay. You're
my
way braver than me.
A rabbit.
Not for it.
You know kids that own rabbits? Have you met one?
I do have a friend that has a rabbit, yeah.
Okay, if they need to go on vacation, someone's got to take care of the rabbit. They're not taking it with them.
Yeah.
Now, most dog and cat sitters don't really, I don't think, offer that type of service. If you have an iguana, I got to tell you, my brother asked my mom to watch the iguana. My mother got bit, like 16 stitches in her hand.
That would be my luck.
You know what I'm saying?
She didn't know what she was doing.
Well, in some respects, she did because she had done it for many years, but she wasn't really should be doing it. I mean, but you were very versed in pets. I know when I go to your house, you have chickens,
yes.
And they've always been taking care. You've taken in animals. I mean, you guys are like animal lovers.
Yes.
How many? Are you counting? How many pets you have?
We have so many.
Yeah.
I also want to be a vet when I grow up.
Well, there you go.
So it just. One, it helps a lot with like experience with other animals, and also it's just what I enjoy.
Well, I think if you've determined that that's what you want to do, right, that's your passion, it's really important to start getting things that are stepping stones to what you want to do later on. So starting as a pet sitter and taking care of animals is just one step to that ultimate goal.
Yes.
And I think it's important to show people that you're in putting your whole life into this passion that you have, right?
Yes.
That becomes really important because it's hard to get internships later on. And we can talk about this because I'm going through it right now with my son. But if you've got experience, even on the entrepreneurial level, it shows people that this is a passion for you.
Yeah.
And that's a different meaning than I'm just applying for a job.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
not just that. I mean, even if you want to stay in your lane and stay within your industry, you go to a place, 6 years from now, you're in college well, what did you do? Well, I still have, and I'll operate a pet sitting company. Oh, really? How you been doing? I've been doing it for like, I don't know, 8 years.
Yeah.
And that was another thing I was going to bring up. You didn't just start this. You've been doing this for a while, haven't you?
Yeah. Like a year and a half.
Which is longer than most businesses actually stay in business, which, we know people. This is a local business entrepreneurial platform that we share ideas and we promote local businesses. But some of these guys, after 3-4 months, they just don't do it. They're done.
Well, I think most people don't understand the hustle and hard work it takes to be an entrepreneur.
And to be their age, to have the hustle. And you'll cover what, about 8 to 10 miles?
Yes.
So what made you decide you wanted to do this?
Disclaimer.
Well, in the beginning, my mom obviously has a hair salon.
Would you like to tell everybody who your mom is?
That's
Yes.
obvious to us because she
Yes.
looks like her mom, but if you don't know her mom, it might not be as
Spit.
obvious.
Do you want to zoom in on this one, Jeff?
Right.
You might want to, do like, where's my close up, Mr.
Your mom's genes came through both of you.
Right
That's
through you
hardcore.
guys.
My mom, her company is called Hair by the Bohemian. She's a hairstylist, and my dad has Stay Salty pool service. And yeah, I get told that I look like them a lot.
But it sounds like you've always been around entrepreneurs
Yes.
and that people that have always created their own passion and dream and hustled for it. And you've seen hard work and hustle.
Yes.
So it doesn't surprise you what it takes.
Yes. But like I was saying, one day I was at my mom's salon and my mom's client was looking for a dog sitter and she just didn't know anyone she trusted. And so I was like, "Oh, well, I love animals.
I love dogs.
Let me be the dog sitter cuz I'll be amazing for you." And
Yeah, right?
How do you not say yes?
exactly. This is old face. But she said yes, and later in May, I dog sat for them, and I really enjoyed dog sitting for them. They were like, their names are Pinto and Rocky. They're 2 Boston Terriers, and they were so cute. They had a bunch of energy, but it's okay because I could handle it.
There you go. So now you say you offer a bunch of services and unique services to, I don't know anyone that I know of here that, would take care of a hermit crab or take care of a hamster,
A snake.
a snake, but your regular services are what, 15-minute drop-ins, you said?
30-minute
30-minute drop-ins. And you take care of, obviously, cats, dogs, and the drop-in, you come in, you play with them a little bit, you give them some treats, take them for a walk, and then just say, we'll see you again.
Yes.
All right. And that's common, right?
Yeah.
How often do you recommend someone doing that with their dog if their dog's kind of left alone? You see a difference once you start visiting them?
Yeah. Definitely like builds connections with them.
And then when you come to the door, they love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then the next service was you said like a doggy play date.
Yes. And we also stay the night.
Okay. So if you wanted to, once a week or once every 2 weeks, have someone just work your dog out, take him for a long walk, play frisbee with him, tickle his belly longer than 5 minutes, you're in.
Yeah, of course.
And then after that, you got to go away. You'll stay at the place.
Yeah, of course.
How great is that?
Well, and I think so many people, are always home except when they go on vacation or something comes up. Or I grew up with a sports kid, and so we would have the occasional weekends where we were away for sports all day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, what are we going to do with the
travel
dog?
sports?
Right.
What are you going to do with the dog?
What are we going to do with the dog? So I think that it's great to have somebody that can just drop in and be able to take care of those one-offs. But do you also do like consistent people where you're going every day because they're working all the time and you let them out in the afternoon or something?
Yes, I do that, but I need to be notified.
Sure.
Yeah. It needs to be scheduled.
How do you like that?
Teach young, schedule your
Well,
time.
your time is important, and you realize that.
Mm-hmm.
And how can people reach out to you? What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Well, you can DM us on Instagram, and we also have Facebook, and I believe we have my one of my or my sister's phone number on there if you would like to reach out for her to book.
Okay, well, tell Joanne she's going to pull it up on the second, and she's going to run it across the bottom. So you're going to be doing this for a few years, which is great too.
Mm-hmm.
And summertime is going to be huge for you. And think about that summertime. Another thing I was thinking about, you don't know sometimes when you just up and have to fly out of your house.
Yeah.
Right.
Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a good relationship with these guys, I'm going to tell you what, you're probably going to wind up using them because you never know when you got to get the hell out of your house for something.
Well, and I think it's important too, if you ever think that you may have that need, don't wait until all of a sudden there's an emergency, right? So don't be afraid to give them a call so you can come meet the animals, see them in their normal
Yes.
environment, see them with their owners so that they get on your list as a potential in the future.
Yeah.
And that way too, you're not walking in blindly if someone just texts you going, "Hey man, I'm out of town. I got to
Yeah.
go, but you might find the key under the mat," you know?
Yeah.
The food's over there.
yeah.
The kitty litter's over there. It's better. You're right to know the layout
Yeah.
beforehand, just in case. And like I said, you can't go wrong having a great contact and trustworthy. Who's going to keep them in their line better than their mom, and we all know their mom.
And I'm assuming you have references. If people want to ask for references, you have
Yeah.
references you can give them.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a
pretty
good
strong.
amount of time in business.
Listen, I got to say, I mean, this show is about entrepreneurship and local businesses here and supporting local. I mean, but how awesome to support local teenagers that are really hustling and trying to make it work, right? Because you guys are going to school and everything too.
Yes.
And it's getting harder and harder for kids to find jobs. I hear that all the time.
Well, the cost to get to a job right off the
yeah.
bat is very expensive.
Mm-hmm. And to schedule the hours with, because whether you're going to work at a grocery store or a pizza place or a restaurant or whatever it might be, they're scheduling your time.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have a lot of responsibility on you in high school with homework and, everything that you have to get done. And then sports for kids that are in it or extracurricular activities or family things that you need to do. So kids are realizing now at a much younger age how great it is to figure out something on your own so that you can create your own hours
and stick with it.
And let's be real, a lot of times make more money than working for somebody else, right?
I mean, you were selling eggs for a while too, huh?
Yeah.
Tell everyone about that.
I'm assuming chicken egg.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a total of like 10 plus chickens, and we love them to death. But I was so like into like making money and also like having chickens because one of my like dream pets, I guess, was a chicken but at the same time we live in a subdivision, so it's kind of hard. But
yeah, the HOA doesn't like that so much.
Yeah.
Throw him a few eggs. Either
Right.
he eats them or he gets them at his house.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not good either.
But I bought custom stamps on Amazon for them.
Okay.
That would say like Kavaka Crew.
There you go.
And we would like sell them to our neighbors and that.
But think branding. I mean, 15 years old, ladies and gentlemen, branding. Just think about that, branding and marketing. And how many eggs were you like making a week? I mean, what were you putting out a week on those eggs, on those chickens?
It was like either $10 or $15.
That's awesome though. I mean, at a young age, $50 a month is good money, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it helps you go get your nails done if your parents don't want to pay for it.
But right off the bat,
or take the ultimate trip to Sephora and Ultra that all us young girls want.
Ulta.
Yeah, I don't go there. So.
I don't go there either anymore.
Amazon delivers to my door.
Well, everyone, if you want to get a hold of these guys, they're called Sister Sitters. Their phone number's here on the bottom. Send them a text. Also, check them out on Facebook. Like their page. We're going to put their link up right now. We don't have it. We'll find it. We'll get it. We'll post it on the page.
Could you do me a favor? Could you tell me what areas you service?
Yeah.
That way people know.
Yes. We do Ruskin, Apollo Beach. We do the Sun City area. And very occasionally do we do Riverview, but if it's urgent and if you really need it, we will do it for you.
That's killer. Obviously, Waterset, Mirror Bay.
Yes.
What else? Bimini Bay. What are some other subdivisions around here that are just
Little
known?
Harbor.
Little Harbor.
Del
That-
Webb.
Del Webb.
I was going to say
Del-
South Shore.
Del
Falls for
Del Webb. You should do pretty good. I'm just saying.
Valencia Lakes.
Well, I applaud you guys because the hustle is real when you're creating your own business, and it does take a lot of time, effort, and creativity. And it sounds like you guys are off to a great start. And the more you continue to get clients and keep growing, I've seen teenagers doing not pet sitting, but other things, and all of a sudden they're hiring friends and they're hiring other people, and all of a sudden they're the boss, right?
Yes.
And having to train other people and rely on other people. And my own son went through this and said, well, I think I'm going to bring on some of my friends to help his business. And I said, but remember, you're putting somebody out there that's going to represent you.
Correct.
And they have to do the work as good as you, and you have to be okay with that. Do you think when you're not there, yeah, they're going to do great when you're training them and all of that, right? But as soon as you walk away, do you think they're going to do the same job? And that's really the next level of the business, is to be able to grow. And so good for you for learning the fundamentals so that you guys can learn to pass it on and train other people and go through the next level, because I think you guys will grow. There's such a need out there for this.
Thank you
Without a
so
doubt.
much.
And you're in a great area here, and very good community, and with a lot of pets. And people are always running out of town and doing this, and I think you're going to do great. So thanks for coming on the show. We're going to take a break in about 4, 3, 2, 1. And Joanne's smiling.
Are you tired of streaks? Not those type of streaks. Not this kind of streaking either. What the heck? The streaking that I'm talking about is on your roof. We use shingles with a high copper content to give your roof a clean, sharp, streak-free appearance for years to come.
Yay? Yay. Happy yay?
You're tuned in.
I have a timer on, so.
You're tuned in to South Shore Live, produced by Tampa Bay Sports and Entertainment Magazine, featuring Captain Theo Leonard, Howard the Unknown Drummer, Angie Frey Richardson, and Joanne Duran. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are their own. This video podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only. This show spotlights local businesses, local organizations, and local news from our forever growing South Shore community. And yes, sometimes we get off track. We tell stories old and new, the kind you only hear from people who truly love this place. If you'd like your business or organization to be spotlighted on the show, reach out to our producer, Joanne Duran. She'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching South Shore Live, where community, stories, and good vibes come together.
And you're live.
Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everybody.
Welcome back. Welcome, Joanne. She took Howard's seat tonight for the second half. And for those that might have just tuned in, we want to give a shout out to Teo tonight. We're missing him here. He's with his mom who had surgery today. So, Ginger, we're all thinking of you.
Yes.
And,
Definitely are.
She pulled through well for those that know Teo, and she's doing phenomenal. And he'll be back next week. And we'll give a little shout out to his book. If you are looking to do any kind of fundraising, make sure you check out his Raffle Mastery book. He is the master of fundraising and has given away all his secrets in his book. So be sure to check it out. And Teo, we miss you. So just
Miss
get back
you.
next week.
I would
Yep.
like to also shout out to their parents. Okay.
Who's
To
parent?
whose
Oh,
parents?
yes. Let's give a big shout out to the sister sitters, Gianna Aubrey. We their parents are Nicole and Neil Kavaka. Seriously.
And they're entrepreneurs themselves. And you know, they've always, since I've ever known them, they've been entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah,
and doing
hustling
well. Yeah.
the whole time.
So I think that family knows nothing but to hustle, and you can see it's obviously went down to their daughters as well, and they've learned well.
And the thing is, that means their daughters will do well for
Oh, yeah.
themselves as they move on in life.
Absolutely. When people think our kids aren't watching us, they really are.
Definitely.
And they definitely are watching you set the standard and what you'll accept and not accept, and
Mhm.
how hard you're going to work and how hard you're going to hustle. So
And I love that they, and no offense to boys, because I have one, but I love that they're young women entrepreneurs, which segues us into.
I mean, I'm biased. I got a boy, and he's an
Well-
entrepreneur.
I'm biased too. I got
Right.
two boys.
No, I mean, our son and son-in-law run South
Yeah.
Shore Carpet Cleaning and Supplies. So definitely. But the fact that, because it wasn't as accepted for a very long time that women could do a lot of things, let alone own and operate their own business.
Oh, absolutely. And I have to say, you know, the one thing about network, and if you're an entrepreneur and you're not out there networking, you're making a mistake.
Absolutely.
You got to get out there and meet people. No one's going to find you sitting in your house or behind a computer. And you got to meet people face to face. They got to know, like, and trust you to want to refer you.
Definitely.
And I can tell you, just sitting in this room tonight, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. And you only see 3 of us up here.
Right.
Because you should put yourself in a situation where your circle is people that are like you. And the more people you have around you that have a similar mindset and drive like you have, the better you're going to be. But from my early days of being networking here in the Tampa Bay market and in El Palo Beach in the South Shore, I met Pearl, and we hit it off right away. So I'm excited to have you on, because I've actually been on your podcast
You
before.
have. It's
yeah.
really cool to have it be back over here with you.
Yeah.
guys. I haven't seen Joanne in a couple of
I know, it's
years.
been a little bit.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
it has.
Definitely.
But I want to touch base on something you just said too. And we all just said about women. Yes, I love my boys, but I love the fact that I raised my boys. So when they met the women in their lives, they would be the men that I wanted them to be.
And you
Absolutely.
Showed, and and you showed them the standard of kind of the woman that they should have too. I think that's important.
As much as meant, at least with our son, he wants to be the knight in shining armor that we always talked about. But I also wanted we raised him to find a woman who's not just going to sit at home.
Yes.
We want somebody who's going to hustle as much as he does.
Yeah, it's so important to have that. You know, You hear 100%, 50%. No, you all have to have the same aspirations. You got to
Mhm.
build each other up. I met my husband when I was 19 years old. We've been married over 40 years now.
Woo
So
woo, yeah.
thank you
Congrats.
very
That's
much.
huge.
Yes, very much. And but from an early age,
Yes.
like he taught me at 19, like I have a voice. I grew up in a household where my parents, they had an argument or disagreement, they just didn't talk, and you'd walk on eggshells, and it could be in 2 weeks, it could be a month, and then you're talking. So when I met Chuck, I was like, if we had disagreement, I was like, I'm just going to sit over here and be this quiet little mouse, you know? And so.
No, not you. Really? I would never have guessed that in 100 years.
I credit Chuck for that because at one point I remember I was really upset with them. It was like over something silly, I'm sure. And he was like, so you want to tell me what's going on? And I just like ignored him because that's all I knew. All of a sudden, he's sitting having the conversation for me. Well, I think this or I think that. I'm like, whoa, that's not what I.
You're like, communication. What's that?
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, so that's what brought it out, you know, and then.
Well, I think the core of that is, you know, whether it's your friends or your spouse or, you know, whoever you're with, that they're your biggest cheerleader. Right. And even if it's in your own relationship or it's in your career,
right.
But you have to be cheerleading each other on. And the people you put yourself around have to be cheerleading each other on and supporting each other. And if you're not, then you're in the wrong circle.
Agreed.
You know, but obviously he was probably one of the first that showed you if somebody sticks with you and cheerleads you and supports what you're doing,
right.
you can openly communicate.
Yes.
You can openly talk about things, and that has grown into a business now for you.
It's grown into my business now. It's what I coach on. It's what I do. You know.
So tell everybody what your business name is.
Yeah.
Let's start from the start.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, it's Women's Successful Living, and it came from the fact that I was in this health and wellness field and just helping people with that world. And I remember the owner of the company, she went away on vacation and I'm covering her calendar. And she came back and she's like, nobody wants to be on my calendar. Like, what's going on? It's because if you came in my office and sat down and you weren't supposed to have the cupcake on the program, I didn't care about the cupcake. I just wanted to know what was going on between your ears that made you want to have the cupcake.
Right.
And so it led to people referring their friends. Will you talk to my friend? They don't lose weight. So I don't drink coffee, but many, many tea dates later, I was like, okay, God, what are you telling me? So I started on this life coaching journey. And through that journey, though, I found out a lot about myself. I found out I was a huge people pleaser. You probably could ask me to come and clean up your dog doo-doo, and I'd be like, what time are we doing it? So I'd be right over.
That does not surprise me at all, actually.
So that was kind of who I was. And after 6 weeks, and many of you know Shannon, I think her last name is Al Whiteside now, but Shannon Carlton, when we took the class together, at the end of the 6 weeks, I had to give my identity and destiny, who I was statement. I still said I was all my titles, all the armors, wife, mom, volunteer. And she literally looked at me and she's like, who the hell are you? Sorry, Kirsten.
No, you're okay.
Like,
we're good. We got a disclaimer.
Because that defines you, right? It defines who you are, and it gives you a title to who you are, but it doesn't say what you're about. It doesn't give you your purpose, doesn't give you what you stand for in those things.
Right.
100%.
A lot of us here are wives or have been wives or moms or will be or have been moms or moms of. Well, no, I mean, when you think about it, even going as a mom of a cat or a dog, you're still a mom. And if you have a husband, you're definitely a mom. No offense to the guys, but you're definitely, because there's things we do that, but that's how we think of ourselves, because that's how we grew up. My mom was a mom. She was Jack's wife. There's a long time it took me to stop introducing myself as I'm Howard's wife. I'm now, because every circle we were in, he was the top person there. So that's just how it happened. And then, like you, it's about getting your voice. And if you don't stop defining yourself that way, it becomes a problem.
You're just going to be everybody else's. You're going to be the wife. You're going to be introduced. Like, it's funny you talked about the networking group. When I would go to network group, I would say, yeah, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and all those things. Now I'm like, my name is Pearl. I'm going to say yes to your life coach. I'm going to help you release your armor so that you show up for the family and the people you love the way you want to, because that's what you're meant to do. And, it took me 10 years of trying to have a family. So when our oldest son, when we adopted him, I was like, oh, okay, God put this in my world. So let me take Pearl off and put her over here. And almost when he hit a senior in high school, I finally figured out that I'm more than that. And I had to figure out who I was. And I hated my name growing up. My name was, I did not like my name growing up.
I think your name it's really beautiful. It is very beautiful and unique.
100%. So my maiden name was Knapp. I was short, so I was called Pro Harbor, Pro Billy, Pro Go Take a Nap, everything you could think of.
No.
And I hated it. But I grew into this going, who am I? Who do I want to be? And I want to be Pro first, because if I leave here tomorrow, and we all know, some of you know my story, but if I leave here tomorrow, nobody's going to be me, right? I mean,
No, you
what
are
am I
the
leaving
only
behind?
you that will ever be.
And the thing is somebody's going to slide in your seat. Somebody's going to sell another house for somebody. Somebody's going to do another magazine.
Absolutely.
Somebody's going to do all that. But what are your family and friends going to say they saw you do for you?
There was a TV show that I used to watch, and it was the Three Witches, and the one witch said, "There goes my tombstone. Here lies her. She worked hard."
Yeah.
And I thought about that when I saw it the first time and said, that never needs to be my tombstone.
I was at a banquet one time, and one of the award participants was talking about how his grandfather, and this stuck with me, this was years ago, always told him, go live in the dash.
Yes,
We're born,
I love the dash.
and we're going to have a born date, we're going to have a death date, but in the dash is where your life lives. And that's really what defines you, right? And if you know me at all, I'm a workaholic and struggle with balance.
Not you.
Struggle a bit with balance.
She
And
comes in on the phone.
Yeah, I'm late to dinner every time because I'm.
It's
on the
hey,
phone. But it's probably some of my own armor, right? That I feel like I have to achieve, and I have to that sometimes that defines me, and I know it doesn't need to, but I don't like to fail. I'm very competitive. I don't like to lose, and all those things. But at the end of the day, I got really sick once, and I ended up in the hospital and thought I was having a heart attack. Thank God I wasn't. And
Howard, you
and
put something on.
all right.
Sorry about
and I
that.
remember somebody walking in and saying, "Do you want, if you do die tomorrow, do you want everybody to say she worked really hard, or do you want them to say she was a good mom and she was a great friend and she was a good confidant?" And there's so much more to us, and we forget about that because we get so defined in our roles. So when my son was little, it was like, I'm a mom, but I need to be a worker, and we forget how to balance that and still be okay to be both.
Exactly.
I'm going to level you up on that. Can I level you up on that for a second?
Absolutely.
Those are amazing things that you are, and you're a good mom, and you're a good friend, which I know that, and we all know that here.
Yeah.
What I want to know is what I see you do for yourself. And I know I watched you last year when you got sick, and we talked about that on my show. And the thing is, it's we are those things, but who is Angie? Who is Angie? What does Angie do for herself? I can tell you, if you came to my eulogy and people can only say what they said about me, that was, I sit in my front porch swing. I hop on. You
have to get really close. Sorry about that. You have to really get close. Don't look at Angie.
You gotta love the mic.
You gotta love this mic.
So what I'm going to say is, they will say they saw me go on staycation. They saw me go sit at the beach. They saw me just hop on a plane and go see a friend. That's the thing I'm going to challenge you to sit down, and anybody that's listening and watching this is to sit down and ask yourself, what are the things that I see you do for you? I have a front porch swing on my patio, and I tell all the moms who are parked across the street, because I'm across the street from the elementary school, I'm like, get out of your car, come sit on my front porch swing, because you need that time, right? And so that's what's so important. And I love what you guys, we've been saying this tonight too, is I call it my balcony people. Like, who's on my balcony people? I mean, there's people in this room that are on my balcony people. There's a few people outside this room that are my balcony people.
And I think it's important to know who those balcony people are and truly know, right? Because you can think you have a lot, but when push comes to shove and you need the help or you need the balance, right? I have a really good girlfriend going through some tough times with an illness happening for her husband. And something that was really mind-blowing to me, because I would say she's one of my best friends, and she was like, "You're not on my list right now as the number one A list." And I was like, "What do you mean?"
Wow.
I've always been.
Right.
But the reality is that her need right now is someone that she can pick up the phone and call and go, someone's got to go pick up my daughter and get her right now from soccer because I can't, I got to take care of him. And the reality is, am I going to be the person that might be available to drop right then and there at that second, right? She doesn't want to have to make 3 or 4 phone calls.
Right.
So I'm on the C list, let's be real. But I appreciate that she told me that.
Yeah.
Right. Because
it's hard. It's hard to hear. So,
yeah.
She's like, it's not that you're on the C list for everything. But for this particular need right now in my life, right now that's going on, I can't put you on the A list. And here's why. And I was like, that makes total sense. And you're right. Cause I would probably end up letting you down when I'm like, yeah, I'm 2 hours away in Dunellen this morning. I can't help you.
But the cool part about that is she told you.
Right. And
You
see
know, that's the part. You have to have those relationships. And Trish is sitting in this room here right now. The cool part of that is the balcony people, like what she said, the ABC. Like Trish came to my retreat a few years ago and we sat down and had a conversation. She's like, can I talk to you about your retreat? And she gave me honest feedback. And that's things that I needed to hear. And so we have to have those people on the balcony that will say, hey, you know what? You are my friend and you'll be on my balcony, but this balcony right now, I need XYZ.
Right. I think
and I will say that retreat, I don't know if it was the same one I went to that was a couple of years ago. Her and I had talked about it too, but one thing about your retreat, I have to say that I really, it took me a minute because I don't stop. I have 4 businesses I run right now, this being one of them. But your retreat, you made me sit on the beach.
Yep.
And I live in Florida and that doesn't happen. And I had to sit on the beach. And, it was hard for me. I can't even sit up in bed in the morning and just hang with my husband for 5 minutes. I'm on my phone trying to figure out what the next deal is, because I'm in real estate and I own a magazine and among other things. But okay, where's my next deal? And who do I have to interview? And who do I have to talk to? Yep. Like it took a lot for me tonight not to be in Los Angeles tonight, but it wasn't the right thing. My right thing was to be here. And it took a lot, but being on that beach that day,
I'm so glad.
That was the one. I mean, you get a nugget out of everything you do. Yeah. And there was a lot going on that time I was there. But the one thing that I remember the most, and it was a few years ago,
it was 3 years ago, I think.
Is that, you made me sit on a beach. And
she probably made you put your phone down too.
I did.
Oh yeah. And no makeup. And that's I don't I literally it's not that the makeup means that much to me. It's just I haven't done that since I was 12.
And the thing that somebody asked me why the no makeup, and my very first retreat, which was 10 years ago this September, it was a no makeup, and everybody bought into it except for one person in the room. And the whole thing about the makeup is we put masks on.
I wasn't there. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I promise.
Because I can tell you, it
not that one anyway.
Well, the thing is the one person sitting in that room. I can tell you, 6 years later, I ran into her in a Publix, and she's still stuck doing the same thing in her life. But every other woman has bought into that. I've had people. Well, I'm just going to say, part of my retreat is part of the reason why Gabby Patino was found, because the person who helped call the FBI had been at my retreat and decided they're going to put their kids in a bus and go cruise across the country. Mm-hmm. And they were part of one of the reasons why she was found. And I've had my esthetician close up and do soaps and just different things like that. So it's about pushing yourself to do something you don't normally do.
And it actually helped me because then was it a year later we went to Italy, or 6 months later? We went to Italy. I met my idol for the first time to spend time. And when you come off a plane overnight, you have no makeup on, you don't care, you just want a bed. And I could deal with that, which normally I would have been in the bathroom, scrubbing my face, trying to put on makeup, and I just wanted to go to sleep.
I crack up. My mom, whenever she would come visit me, she's like, "Oh, your brother's got to come do my hair." I'm like, "Why, Mom? I'm getting on the plane." I'm like, "You're getting your hair cut when you get here to me. I'm bringing my hairdresser." Yeah, but I'm like, "Mom, those people are never going to see you again."
Exactly.
Like I get in my PJs sometimes on the plane. In fact, Thursday I told you guys I'm going to get her and come back the same day. I'm just wearing my PJs for the day. I'm just going to chill out in my PJs and have a good time, do a little bit of work on the plane, and
I think people do that at Walmart down the road too.
the Walmart Target,
right?
Yeah. But I'm sure your PJs are kind of classy. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. You don't have, there's no not classy with we.
Our PJs are fun. And this year, Trish will be part of the planning committee. In a couple of weeks here, we're going to plan our 10th annual retreat in September. And we're coming up with a lot of fun things. And
is that the one I won a ticket to?
No, you actually won a ticket to the summit, which is on May 14th.
That's right. Month. I knew it was coming up.
Yep, May 14th. And that is because we listen, right?
Right. It's actually behind you. Well, it's gone now, but it was behind you.
Basically, we've had many women say, "I can't get away for 4 days to come to a retreat. What can you offer me?" So on May 14th from 9 to 6 p.m., We are going to have a VIP before and after party, but we are having panels of women that are coming, and we're talking about how to bridge self-care. So like Trish is on the first panel about your health. And so we have people talking about menopause. We have people talking about autoimmune, but we have somebody who talks about financially setting yourself up. So if those things come into place, or caregiving, you can step away from your business like you just talked about you did for a couple weeks there, right? So then that's in place. We have another panel talking about having a social media planner, having a branding photographer, having a PR person with a VA. Why the VA? At the end of that panel is a travel agent. Why? Because if you have all these people doing your work, you can go to Greece like I did last year for 11 days with my husband. So that's what we're doing for the whole day. The cool thing is we are giving every ticket that's sold is going, part of $10 is going to Mary Martha House, and $10 to
nice.
Silence Voices, which supports human trafficking and domestic violence awareness. And then we have all of our speakers have agreed to give away 1 hour of their time. So somebody who comes in their best dressed PJs that represent your business. So if you want to come in your PJs with houses all over it,
Absolutely.
go for it, girlfriend.
Oh, so you need to send me a
I'm not
picture.
gonna wear PJs that say for sale. That might be a little weird.
That might be a little odd, but we are going to have.
I need a picture. You can send it privately, but I need a picture.
But we're
Yeah,
gonna have a
chat
fun
GPT
contest.
tonight.
What would Trish be wearing for PJs?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't talked about that.
I can tell you exactly what I think Trish should be wearing for PJs.
But basically, at the end of the day, each table is going to vote for the best dressed PJ representing the business at the table, and then we'll have a final drawing. By the speakers will pick somebody, and they will get 1 hour with every single coach or every single speaker, that was there about their business and help them work on something for their business.
How do you register?
You go to you go to say yes to yourself. Wait, say yes to you summit.com.
Yes to you summit.com.
Say yes to you.com. It's up there somewhere.
It will come up. It does. I
Say
literally
yes to
do it.
Summit.com.
You know what? I can
So,
pull it up
pull
because
it
I
up.
sent it to Angie, so it's in my phone.
It's so important though, because so many women get so
We're gonna keep going.
strung out in the hustle, strung out in trying to be a mom, strung out in trying to be a wife, in balanced life and all those things that we do forget about ourselves. And kudos to you, because from the day I've met you, you've always been encouraging people to figure out who you are first with all of that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you're not that first, you're not good at those other things
You're
either.
not.
I mean, you got to really define who you want to be. What do you want to be known for? And that's something that somebody asked me when I was laying there in that bed that time. And they said, you don't want to be known. So you want your dash and people to talk about that. Oh, she worked really hard and she was a great employee, because you're right. I'm going to get replaced tomorrow.
Right.
They'll find somebody else to do my job. And every one of our jobs, let's remember that. Even if you're an entrepreneur, they'll hire the next company. They'll find somebody else. But at the end of the day, what you want them to know is, how did you make people feel? When somebody says, what do you miss about her? And that's what someone asked me. They said, think about this. What do you want people when you're not here someday to say, when they say, man, I miss that person. And what do I miss about them? Right.
Right.
And if you know my story, I lost my dad when he was 49. I was 20. So 30 years ago. And, I don't talk about that I miss my dad. I talk about the man and what he was in my life, and what he defined in my life, and what I miss about him. Right.
Mhm.
And that's what you really want to think about in your business too, because it's not just your business, it's your legacy of who you are and what you bring to the table for those people. So whether you're cleaning their floors or you're selling them a house or anything else,
Right.
how did you make them feel at the end of the day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And as you said earlier about our example to our kids, and I waited till like Matt, my oldest. So Matt is my oldest, and Nate is my youngest one. And I waited till Matt was a senior in high school to really start figuring this stuff out, right? And so it'll be 4 years this summer that we lost him.
Mhm.
But the really neat thing is, that sounds crazy to say in that one sentence, is that 2 days before Matt passed away, he was in a garage, like, Mom, will you throw me a water bottle? I chucked him the water bottle, and he literally said, not if you figured out your stuff, but you finally have an arm. So that's, because I could never throw anything. And so basically that left me to say that he saw me finally figure out who I was, and I need to live that life, because
Absolutely.
that's what he loved about me. Right. And then, so you have to do that. So what I would say, if we're going to, I know we're getting to the end.
Well, no, we just want to take a short break. That's all. We just want to take a short break. You're going to stick around, right? Because we're going to talk some more. Awesome. So we're going to take a break. Howard's going to throw a commercial up.
Howard's yelling at us.
Hey, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's no joke here today. And I'm not Nipsey Russell, but I'm rhyming away. So, take the plunge. Check out the new magazine for February's edition. We got our own polar plunge here. It's easy to do when it's 80 degrees, but not when it's 35. Go Bucks!
Kimberly Evans.
This is great.
Oh my God, I love you.
You can get them made somewhere probably, or get them on Amazon.
South Shore, where the sun shines, golf carts roam, and accidents happen. But your roof, that should be the least of your worries. Steadfast Roofing brings you the best roofing systems, providing you protection even against the toughest storms. For a roof that stands strong through anything, choose Steadfast.
The Web Design Ninja is your one-stop shop for all things internet. Our dedicated team has been building internet solutions for businesses large and small since 1993. We specialize in creating eye-catching designs, search engine optimization, complex e-commerce, and custom app integration. Whether you need a simple website or a complex e-commerce or phone app, our team of experts is here for you. Give us a call today. We're here to help.
On AI.
Okay,
Hey, South
and
Shore
we're
community. Join Howard, the unknown drummer, and Captain Teo Leonard for our...
Are you tired of streaks? Not those type of streaks. Not this kind of streaking either. What the heck? The streaking that I'm talking about is on your roof. We use shingles with a high copper content to give your roof a clean, sharp, streak-free appearance for years to come.
My God, that's hilarious.
hey, we are back. We are live, and we're gonna.
Can we just talk about the commercial we just ran?
Okay,
Because that was hilarious. I don't care who
okay.
you are.
So it was actually John Starry talking about how your roof can streak, and HOA gets kind of mad, but it also might mean that there's an issue or at the beginning of an issue with your roof. So before the actual roof has problems, give him a call. So call Steadfast
Can
Roofing.
you call him so he's not running down the road streaking, please?
He's so
Just
cute. I
saying.
love his
It's
commercials.
hilarious. I hadn't seen that yet.
John Starry with Steadfast Roofing. He just sends me the best commercials. I love it.
That
I
was
will.
hilarious. Good job, John.
Good job, John. I will say this as kind of a point of reference. Howard was running the commercials right now, so it was not me.
It's all good. It's all
Which
good.
is why it looked a little weird, but it's, you know what? It's okay. I've learned as an entrepreneur, people are okay when you're not perfect because they're not perfect either.
100%. Yeah, you're not perfect either. You've got to be who you are originally, because that's why everybody loves who you are. There's women sitting in this room right now that, we all do things very uniquely and differently. And I think that's what we get remembered by as well.
I just got back from a conference for real estate out in Las Vegas, and I sat through lots of classes, but one of them was how to define yourself, right? Because everybody knows 7 realtors plus.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's really about
Right.
how do you define yourself to be different? Because we are, believe it or not, all entrepreneurs. And we are all our own independent contractors that have to define our business and figure out who we are and what defines us.
Absolutely.
And, I have a marketing background, yes, from before, and I was helping realtors when I was on the mortgage side learn social media and things like that. But it's really important, no matter what your business is, whether it's me for real estate or anything else, define what you want people to take away and make that your message, right? So John, obviously in his roofing, is funny.
He's hysterical. I love him.
And I would expect if he comes and quotes a roof that he's probably going to make me laugh at some point while he's there and not be some tight,
oh my God,
uptight
no,
guy.
he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I would rather have somebody come that's going to make me laugh through the process that I'm going to cry how much this roof's going to cost. But at least I'll feel better about it. Right. But I think that's
Yes.
awesome. Right. So define who you're going to be. not just in life, which is what you try to pull out of people, but define what you want to be in your business too. That makes sense. And it should really be kind of the same, right?
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
yeah.
You're not a different person just because you're like, oh, I'm at work. All of a sudden I'm different.
Right. And
Right.
there's so many people that are, and it's interesting you bring that up. One of the things that I always ask a client when they want to start working with me is I will ask them, why me? Especially if they work with another coach. I'm like, why do you want to work with me? Because you've already worked with somebody. And they'll tell me, and it's kind of, there's an irony that I have to share with that too, is they'll say, because I see you online, I see you're being authentic, and I see you showing up as who you say you are, right? But the funny thing about that is over Christmas time, my son Nate came to us and said, Mom, you put a lot on Facebook about the family, and I feel like you're marketing our family. I'm like, well, no, I'm marketing my life because this is who I am, right? So
people say the same about me.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop you for just for 1 second. Teo, if you're watching, your dog. Taz is scratching and coughing in front of us, and we're trying. I've got poor Trish and Allie. Allie is literally under our table, and they're trying to get this Taz to move.
Bring the pet sitters back.
So I apologize. Go ahead. It's hysterical.
Because Nate's like, so we end up changing and creating a separate family thing just for family, which, but that's the point too, is like teaching our children to be able to have the conversations too about what's happening in our lives and how it affects them. But you just said something about being who we are in our business. One of the things that I do too with my clients is I like to find out what brings them joy. And I tell them it's going to take you 6 weeks to figure this out because we have a joy list. But it's also, we talk about if they're a business owner, I'll ask them, what about your business brings you joy? Because when it comes down to it, if you're not happy in that business, why are you doing it? Right. And so I have a hairdresser that we did this one time with, and she's like, oh, I just love cutting hair. I'm like, okay, that's great. But what about cutting hair? I can go to the barber and get my hair. I can walk up the street and go to the barber. Why should I sit in your chair? And she sat and she thought about it, and she's like, oh, when people walk in, and who doesn't tell their hairdresser everything, right?
Absolutely.
So everything happens.
Nicole knows all.
So she's like, when they walk in, maybe they've had a rough day. They, whatever, something's happened, their kids or whatever, they're not the best, but they come and they dump everything at the chair.
You're right. That chair is like a truth serum. I feel, Charlene, I love you. You know everything about my life too.
Same with Nicole.
It's like a truth serum of, just pouring your guts out because you got 3 hours to sit there while you work on this mop. But
and they didn't realize not only were they cutting hair, but they became a therapist.
Oh, for sure. Bartenders the same way.
Yeah. Real estate agents.
So when at the end of the day we talk about her joy list, the reason why cutting hair she loved was because they would walk in the door, maybe they're stressed out, but then when they leave, they not only look great on the outside, but they feel a little better on the inside.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, you want, no matter what it is, getting your hair cut or anything, you want to work with somebody who has a passion for what they're doing because they're pouring their heart and soul into it. And I look at John's commercials tonight, and I'm like, man, hysterical. I would trust him with a roof because he's having fun and doing it, and he's living, and he's showing his passion through it. Right. So one of the things that I trained and had large staffs in the past of my previous marketing career doing live entertainment, and for 26 years, and then COVID came and everything went away. Right. And they let 90% of the people go. And I had to kind of step back and go, oh my God, it's the only thing I've ever known. I interned in college and then worked my way up and had been at the same company. And I literally had to step back and go, I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I'm good at, but yet I was very good at that. But it was like, it was so niche. Right. And, but I used to tell my employees, and somebody said this to me when I was an intern, and they had taken me to the Pontiac Silverdome years ago. And somebody said, go down to the bottom of the tunnel when the motorcycles come out for Supercross and the national anthem comes out goes on and the crowd roars. And they said, at that moment, you'll know if this job's for you or not. And I was like,
that makes sense.
Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I was 19, 20, 21 years old, and I was in college. And I said, well, what do you mean? And they said, you'll know. You'll just know. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll go do it. You told me to. So I go down there, and the bikes go flying by, and the national anthem goes off. 60,000 people start screaming, and I get goosebumps today. You can see them right now, like just thinking about that moment, right? Because and somebody looked at me and they're like, oh, yeah, you're in, you're done, you're in, right? But it's true, when you find the passion that runs in your blood, and you can pour your heart and soul into it, it comes out in your results. And the
Yeah.
thing that I always loved more than anything, because nobody loves the paperwork and the hours and the stress and the meetings upon the meetings upon the meetings. But at the end of the day, for me, I used to tell my employees all the time, when you stop loving going to the live event, because that's what we're working for,
Right.
and you stop loving people screaming and having a great time, or the little kids coming in at Disney on Ice, all dressed up with their parents and excited, right? When that moment, when you see that happen for a family is no longer important to you, then get out of the business. You're not
Right.
here for the right reason, right?
Right.
So when it got taken from me, I was like, where am I going to feel that? Because that's what mattered to me. That's what I missed. I didn't miss the paperwork and all that, but I missed that feeling it gave me.
Right.
And truly, that was what I found in real estate. When I hand somebody their keys, it feels the same way to me, where I just help them achieve something that they might not have gotten through and done without me. And, watching those little kids come in and getting 2 hours with their parents of defined time and no phones, no nothing, just pure entertainment, right? And then
now they get
a house,
a bedroom.
Right.
That's
And
that when they have that bedroom,
backyard.
I'm picking this one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite moment.
Right. Yeah.
I want that room.
But you wouldn't put up with the BS that we put up that nobody realizes, the hours and hours that we put in that define us to get there, right? 'Cause
Right.
nobody sees it. Nobody sees that stuff.
They
and
don't
that's
see the
fine.
destruction of the deal based on somebody's thoughtful opinion that may or may not make a difference to
Right.
the person buying the house.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
you, like you mentioned too, doing mortgages, like you and I talk about
Mhm.
that background too. And all that part that goes on behind the scenes, and they don't understand all the pieces that
I was the
that go-
processor.
Yeah,
But
I know.
when I was in mortgages, and I said to somebody, I said, I don't feel fulfilled. I liked
Right.
what I did, but my job was to go out and court realtors to bring in mortgages, right? But I wasn't the one signing the paperwork. I wasn't the one dealing with the customer, and I certainly wasn't the one handing them their keys or telling them you're approved and you're going to get it. And
Right.
while I loved working with realtors and doing what I was doing, I missed.
And you were good at it.
Well, thank you.
You were so good at it.
But I missed that moment that defined what I loved. And what I loved was that moment of seeing somebody achieve because I helped them achieve. Right. And that's when I had to step back and say, I don't know if this is for me. I need that. I need what that realtor is getting, which is handing those keys and getting that moment. Right. So, and just like the girls earlier, when I said, why this, what makes you passionate about it? Like when you find something that defines you or that
Right.
you're passionate about, it comes through in your work. It really does.
Gary Keller said to a group, and it wasn't just a KW group, he was at an overall convention with lots of different real estate agents and different people in real estate. And he said, love what you do and the money will follow. And as a younger, well, not young, but as a real estate agent who had just started, not young, in my mid 40s, I was like, yeah, it's easy coming. I literally said that's easy coming from a billionaire. But if you know his story, he lost everything. And he's right. The more you love what you do, the money just follows, because everybody wants to be near someone who likes what they do, who has a passion, who has that feeling. So if you love what you do, money typically follows that. It might take a minute, and you have to be patient, and that's called being an entrepreneur. It's being an entrepreneur and finding the right coach to help you through that space.
And it's important you brought up finding the right coach too, because I've had coaches, going back from when I started to recently. It's like finding the right coach that's the right fit for you. Ask the questions, like, why are they? I've had people ask me, why are you passionate about what you're doing? Like, what happens if I don't get results? What happens if I'm not doing the work? I fired clients before. I had a client who I even fired her from.
It's a hard lesson to learn, man.
Yeah,
hard lesson to learn.
I fired her from kind of my retreats too, because she was coming 3-4 times in a row, but nothing was changing. It was the same thing. And I'm like, when you're ready to work on this, then you can come back.
Well, because you recognize that you're wasting your time if she's not going to make change too.
Right.
It's like, let's be real. It's me going to the gym and personal trainer, but if I'm not going to eat right, then what am I doing there? And why am I spending the money? Right. I have to remind myself that all the time.
The part where you were asking about passion, one of the things that I love is I know I'm doing my job right when their spouses call me and say, can you talk to so-and-so? Because they're not doing the work and I can see the work sliding.
Right.
I know that's right. I also love when I can let a client go and be like, you've reached we've gone as far as we can. And, and then they find that next coach for them. I love that. That's the part that I love. I love watching that happen. Love watching them flourish. I love watching a female person that I'm coaching go, I don't like what the heck I'm doing. That's what I love about my retreats, and I want to go do this. Right. But yeah, it's so fun. Actually, Trish and I and my friend and our friend Natalie. So our retreat this year, our 10th one, has got a lot of things coming and changing. But I'm really excited for what's the next part coming too. So that's the other part too, is through this as entrepreneurship.
Right.
We have to look at what's the next thing. As long as we keep filling our cup, like if it's not filling your cup, like you said with the mortgage piece, it wasn't filling your cup, but you knew where you wanted to be, and so you went and helped get the key now, and that's amazing.
Yeah, and you got to find that thing for you. But I think when it comes to coaching, because I've had several coaches in my life, and sometimes a coach is a boss, right? And I think everybody assumes your boss is your coach.
Right.
The reality is your boss doesn't have to be your coach. And it took me a long time to realize that. I always just assumed I got to make my boss happy, so my boss is my coach. But that was actually the one thing I did when I made the transition to real estate from mortgages and marketing background and all that. And, you know, no matter where you're going, there's probably other people in the business that are doing what you're about to do, or that have a business doing what you're about to do. So what defines you makes you different, right?
Right.
And in my head, I'm like, man, and I couldn't fail. I'm a single mom. I got a house. I got a kid going to college. I was like, I'm about to go into 100% commission and I can't fail. So how do I set myself up for some success?
Right.
And I bit the bullet and hired an outside coach, because in my mind, I don't want to necessarily, not that he's bad at it, because he's great at it, but our in-house coach coaches everybody. And I was like, well, why do I want coached by the same person everybody else is getting coached by?
Right.
Yeah, you want something that's just specifically for you.
Yeah.
And by the way, Teo's dog Taz has now joined us here.
Right.
So Teo, Taz is fine.
But even in looking for
Stacey?
a coach, it was really important to me.
It's got to be the right person.
Yeah, it's got to be the right person. And if you get the wrong person, it's not that you're uncoachable. You just might need to find the right person, right? And for me, we all have our past traumas, right, that help define that.
Definitely.
If you talk at me, I shut down. I won't listen. And I'm a pretty smart person, but I will shut down. It's one of my past traumas. But if you talk to me and just talk to me, I will do anything and everything for you, right? And so when I called and was interviewing coaches, I said I would really prefer I don't care if it's a male or female. I prefer somebody that will just talk to me. Instead of talking at me. And they're like, well, what does that mean? And honestly, it was the greatest thing I did. It was the best money I did. And I had a lot of people say, well, how did you take off so well? And I'm like, because I took some of what our in-house coach says, and I took some of what she said, and I married it together and made it mine.
Yeah.
And I did do business a little bit different because of that. So I think finding a coach is so important in your business, no matter what business you're in.
Yeah.
But if you're an entrepreneur, you absolutely need one.
And I have
you
to
can get lost in the weeds in your own entrepreneurship.
I have to agree, because I have a coach that I've been with like 5-6 years, and I needed a coach who knew the difference from telling me what to do, because I don't do well with that. Because you're
most strong A-type personality girls don't do well
not
being told what to
tell
do.
me this is what I have to do. I needed someone who knew enough that got enough about me that they understood. And Deanna Watson was my coach. She was a MAPS coach. She's now with another company, but I talk to her regularly. And honestly, she knew she didn't have to say a word to me as far as like making me do stuff. All she had to do in the beginning was, my daughter was getting married, and all she had to do was say, so how's that wedding fund coming? That's all she had to say to me. She would start the call with, hi, how you doing? How things going? Blah, blah, blah. And then she go, so how's that wedding fund? She knew my goal was $18,000 in the wedding fund. That was beyond, paying bills, paying this, doing that. So that's all she had to say. She didn't have to trap me. She didn't have to say, did you do your homework this week? She said, I knew before that phone rang, that was the second thing she was going to say. First was the niceties. And then it was, how's that wedding fund coming? How's your son or daughter? Well, in this case, our daughter. How's your daughter's happily ever after? Those were the words she used with me. She didn't have to say anything else. I knew when that phone rang, that was coming out of her mouth.
I love to take and challenge a client. So I'm recently talking with somebody, and they're going through some stuff, and their friend challenged them before they could come with me. They had to take care of something. Well, tell me about that. And when I heard, I'm like, good job for their friend calling you out and making you do this. And then as we're working for it, and I don't like to make my clients cry, but I love to see the breakdown, because the breakdown means you're making the progress. And then we get to do what I call the bounce forward and put all the pieces together. And that's the part. And so I love to challenge you to be like, you know the answer.
And I did. That was it. I knew.
And I'm the same way. I'm like, you know the answer. So what are you going to, you can keep doing this. Hence why I told the one client she can't come to retreat anymore. You can keep doing this and be stuck. And every hour you don't do it, it's at least 7 more days that you're going to be behind, because you're going to think about it for the whole day for why you didn't do it. And that's going to be another day. And so why go down the rabbit hole? You know, it's like for me, like with my grief, like this past Tuesday, I did a post last week. I did a post where I went to go to get a crazy x-ray, and I heard something that just put me in a tailspin for my grief. I allowed myself that day, and I usually don't have those days, to sit with that grief and embrace it, because it's part of who I am now. But then the next day I'm like, you got to get your butt up.
But it's not the only part.
Thing.
That's what I had to learn.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I had to learn, I'll be honest, I had to teach myself to put our parents always, you know, if you had decent parents, if you didn't do your homework, you didn't get to go outside, right? I had to learn to do that to myself as a businesswoman.
Yep.
I didn't get the 3 ads I wanted. I didn't go to LA. If I don't get 2 ads, by the time I do something else, I can't do that.
Right.
And honestly, the truth is in the pudding. If you don't do the work, you shouldn't get the positive.
Yeah,
at the end of the day. And I started doing it with myself, and I'm mad at myself right now. But at the end of the day, it's what is going to move us forward.
Well, and then also I would challenge you to ask yourself, and write this down, take some time and ask yourself, what happened that I did not make the goal? What were part of the pieces that I did not make the goal?
I wrote that down. I know exactly what I didn't do.
How I can change. And the other thing I want people to
I ended up rewriting my whole business plan as far as, and I did, there's a coach on Instagram that I follow. She's a beautiful person. And she said, you know, most of us, when we're working on our business plan and it doesn't work partway through, what do? We try to look at the business plan, see what we need to change, what didn't work. And she actually said she would like you to grab a blank piece of paper. Don't ignore your business plan. Grab a blank piece of paper as if you're going to start your business plan over today, and then compare them and see where you need to shift. And I did that. So hopefully in June, I'll be going to the Florida Magazine Association thing.
And you will.
If you know, because I did. I actually took her words to heart. And, you know, I challenge everybody in life in general. You don't have to be a business.
But you know
if your relationships aren't working, pull out a blank piece of paper and just start over with what works and what doesn't.
But I know what I think is beautiful about that is that you allowed yourself to fail forward.
Yes.
That's what's so important. We forget to do that. We forget we're going to have failures in our life. We need to allow ourselves to fail forward. I'm the coach of the Mary Martha House. And the one thing when I work with the women there, and I tell them this all the time, you are allowed to fail forward, because your bounce forward is going to be the lesson that you're going to take from that failing forward.
Well, I think it's learning forward too. I mean, if you can't stop and look at what's happened in the past and learn from it so that it motivates you to move forward, then you're stuck. Right. And so it's really learning forward. But I think the super really awesome thing that you've done is you had a passion to help women and turned it into a job.
Yeah.
And you've turned it into a career. And the thing that defines you to me ever since I've known you is that no matter what, I know you're a cheerleader of mine. Always, right?
Yes.
And that's who you are. And I think that's what defines you. And you've turned that into a business. And I think that's the thing that, you know, entrepreneurs really have to look at in nowadays. And a lot of people don't want to go to corporate life. And a lot of people don't want to sit behind a computer all day.
I don't.
So figure out what it is that's going to make you happy and what drives you and turn it into a business.
Yeah.
And that's what you did, right? I mean,
Yep.
I never realized, and I'll be honest, I never realized there's so much you can do in the world to turn something into a business.
Yeah.
Ask AI if you can't figure it out.
You know, start your LLC and get it out there and start, right? But
That's a whole other episode.
Yes. Try harder, fail better. That's what I mean. That was a Criminal Minds quote. Try harder, fail better.
Yeah.
And that's really what we need to do. Just, you know, do more. And if you fail, just fail better. So you're failing forward, learning, moving in the correct direction of where you need to be so you can get to that end result that you're looking for.
100%.
And your passion has to be there, which obviously with your business, you have that passion.
It's what I just don't know anything different. I always wanted to be a cheerleader in high school. Never made the cheer team, so I'm doing it now.
Me neither.
I didn't until college. It took me all the way to
do an
college.
amazing job, and I'm excited about going to the retreat. And I mean,
Summit.
the summit.
You're going to the summit.
We have spots left for the retreat too.
I would love that.
That's
And
wslivingretreats.com. So we got spots for you.
but if you are listening-
wslivingretreats.com.
If you are listening, I think it's important, whatever your business is, even if you're working corporate America and you're trying to go up the corporate ladder, you have to figure out what defines you and what motivates you. And you don't have to have a coach in that industry, right?
No,
and I
no.
think that that's what's really cool about what you do is you're bringing people from all different industries, all different things, because it's not about the industry anymore. It's about you being a better person to show up for what it is you want to do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And even when I was in corporate America, they sent me on training once, and I went to a 3-day retreat paid by the company, and I got there, and you're not allowed to be with anybody from your own company. And
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, and everybody,
You have to learn something at that
Mhm.
point.
And there was only 7 people in the room, odd for a purpose, odd number for a purpose. And it was a lot about yourself, but it was also a lot about sharing. And it wasn't about what company we came from. It was about how to make ourselves a better person so we could go back to the company and be a better person for the company.
Right.
And I think that's exactly what you're doing
Thank you.
in helping people become better people to be better at what they want to do.
That's what I want to be remembered for. And so when you come to the summit, remember what you said, because when you're at the summit, you don't get to sit with anybody you know.
That's gonna be tough for me because
You
I
know-
know a lot of people.
The funny thing is, when I coach entrepreneurs, and what I will say to them is, because we went back to this here lies proof she worked hard. What do you want your eulogy to be when people get up to talk about you? What do you want them to say? What do you want them to know so much about you? What is your legacy? That's what, and it makes people think.
Well,
It
if you
really
don't-
does.
I think what defined me in that moment when somebody asked me that when I was really sick, and the reality is everybody knows what we do. But
Yeah.
when somebody asks you about somebody, it's more what the first thing they're going to think of is how they made you feel. And even like Allie's here and she does photography, and how does she make you feel when she's taking your picture? How does
Oh,
she
like
make you
you're
feel when
the
you walk
best
out of there,
looking
right?
woman in the world.
And when I talk about Paul, my personal trainer that I do boxing with, because I do one-on-one boxing and not
Mhm.
in a boxing class with a bag. And I was telling somebody today, they're like, "How do you like it?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's the best counselor you'll ever have." I'm like, because
Yeah.
even though you don't talk because you can't breathe, because it is harder cardio than you think, but it is so an ability to let go of stress that I never thought about, right? And it's how I feel when I'm working with him. It's not about, I went and boxed and I did really well and I made it through X number of rounds, right?
Mhm.
But it's about how that person makes you feel in that process. And I think that that's what you've made a business on, and it's super awesome. I will say one of the things my coach said to me, since we're talking about coaching, and I think it was the most impactful thing that she said to me. She gave me a book, and I don't remember the name of the book because I don't read very well. But she told me, I just don't take the time.
I was going to say, wait a second. You read contracts all day long. Don't say you don't read well. You don't read books very often, but you read well.
I read all day long, but I can read, yes, but I don't sit down and read books just to read books because I just don't have the time.
Right, because you're doing it all.
Yeah, but she said, do me a favor and at least get the audiobook, and when you're in
That's
your
a great
car
way.
or whatever. And so I was like, okay, so I was half listening, half not, because we all know I got a million things going on, but as we all do as entrepreneurs. But at the end of the book, there was a story about a lady who was stuck in an apartment building and it was on fire, and she was absolutely petrified to go down the fire escape, and she was not going to go out the window. She was not going down that ladder. And a fireman walked in and said, "We got to go." And she was like, "I'm not going." He goes, "Well, I'm not dying here with you." So, and he goes, "And I'm not living without you." And he's like, "I'm not leaving here without you. So you got to go." And she's like, I can't do it. And she froze. And she said, "You have to do it." Or he said, "You have to do it. You don't have a choice right now, ma'am. You got to do it." Right. And she's like, I just can't. And he goes, "Why?" She goes, "Because I'm scared. I'm scared and I can't do it." And he goes, "Well, guess what? You're going to do it scared." Well, let's just do it scared.
Yep.
Right.
I love that.
And he took her to the window and he goes, listen, now's the moment. Just do it scared. And she
Mhm.
got out and she crawled down the ladder. And at the end, they got down there and they're like, how did everything go? And she's like, I just did it scared. But you know what? She made it down. And that one moment in the book for me defined so much, because I was like, you know what? I am petrified of what I'm about to do. And it was like, you know what, Angie? Just do it scared.
Just do it scared.
Right.
And if you're scared, you're probably going to work at it harder,
Right.
because you don't want to fail and you are scared of it. So don't be afraid of things out there. Just go do it scared and you'll figure it out.
That reminds me, the story, I think I told it at our group meeting. There was a coach who had a person who just refused to do what they were supposed to do for homework. I mean, as coaches, we give you the homework's for you. It's not for us. It doesn't do us any good. So the guy, entrepreneur, time after time didn't do it. So by third time he didn't do his homework, the coach said, you know what? You're going to hang up with me. You're going to go to the store. You're going to buy a can of Goya beans. I don't care what beans, but they must be Goya. Don't give a care what brand. It can be kidney, it can be red, whatever. I don't care. White beans, doesn't matter. Goya beans. Hangs up. Guy races off, grabs the beans, comes back, gives him a call back on the phone. I'm back. I got the beans. He goes, and? He goes, well, you told me to get beans. He goes, and what did you do? I went and got beans. I did it. He goes, so stop worrying about being perfect. Stop worrying about doing it a certain way. You went and you got them. Yeah. And then the guy says, well, yeah, I get it. He goes, okay, so I want you to put those beans on the desk right where you are every day. And he goes, all right, so, but why do they have to be Goya beans? Because Goya stands for get off your ass. It means literally, like Nike, just do it. Stop playing around. You don't like it. It's hard. It's difficult. It's challenging. It's whatever you want to call it. But if you get off your butt and do it, you at least made the attempt. There's no try in life. You either do something or you don't, or you do it and fail, but you did it. And that was the purpose behind that story. And it has stuck with me for years. I tell it all the time. Like, I'm relentless for telling that story. And it's, it's one of those things. If you don't just go give it that, they call it the college try, but it's not a try. This pencil, I can either pick it up or I can leave it on the table, but I can't try. I either did it or I didn't. Right. And that actually came from my 7th grade music teacher. Somebody said I tried to do my homework, and he put the pencil down and he said, try to pick it up. And they literally went back and forth for 10 minutes. Dude either picked it up or didn't pick it up. He was like this. He's like, there's no try. Do it or don't, but admit to what you're doing or not doing and move on. You didn't do it. You didn't try. It's either there or it's not. And that's most of things in life. Howard's yelling at us to take a break. So we're going to take a break.
The Web Design Ninja is your one-stop shop for all things internet. Our dedicated team has been building internet solutions for businesses large and small since 1993. We specialize in creating eye-catching designs, search engine optimization, complex e-commerce, and custom app integration. Whether you need a simple website or a complex e-commerce or phone app, our team of experts is here for you. Give us a call today. We're here to help.
Welcome back, and we got Howard now behind
Hey, I'm
the
back.
mic.
Howard, the unknown drummer here from South Shore Live. Thanks for joining us tonight, Pearl. So tell everyone how they can get involved and the cost of your seminars that you wanted to discuss, right?
Yeah. So if you want to come to the summit, it's at sayyes2yousummit.com, and it's $197 for VIP, $147 for regular ticket.
Go
So,
VIP
right,
all the time.
Go VIP all the time. Right now, if you go online and book it right now, it's $50 off, so you can save some money.
That's the one in May.
That's one May 14th.
Okay.
And then if you're interested in a retreat, if you want 4 days away and you want to be at the beach, we go to the Gulf Shores of Alabama because that's a great beach there. And it's wslivingretreats.com. So it's wslivingretreats.com. And it's, if you want, we have one VIP room left at $3,600.
What?
And that gives you front and center, your own balcony and like on the beach. But the other spots are great too because you get to meet some amazing women. We have 10 spots left for that.
And do women come in from all over the country?
So we have our furthest one is coming from, we have one that might be coming from Canada, but right now we're up north for Philly and all over the place. So we have somebody coming from Colorado too this year.
Well, I will tell you, in the networking I've done and the sharing I've done and everything else, and I think that sounds amazing. When you're with other like-minded people, whether it's all women or not, doesn't matter. But when you're with other like-minded people and you see them release and break down and figure out how to make themselves better, it makes all of us realize like we're not perfect.
No.
And we all have something to learn. We all can be better. And we all have things that we can take away and go, man, to see somebody like that I thought was so strong in the room and walk away with it, you all learn from each other.
Yeah, 100%.
And you'll never learn enough, right? But you learn so much more when you're with other people who are sharing and openly sharing. So I think what you're doing and have turned it into a career is really amazing. And the fact that you, obviously I love the fact that cheerleads women, but you're cheerleading people to be better in themselves, not just as one of our definitions of career, mother, wife, whatever. So
yeah, we make it an experience, especially even at the summit. Like you're going to have brunch, you're going to have lunch, you're going to have our after party is a silent disco party. Many of us in the room know Brian, so shout out to Brian for doing our silent disco party. But we try to make an experience. Even the retreat, we have a chef come in and we make food. Everything's included. You just got to show up. That's it.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us
tonight.
Thanks
for having me.
Howard, what's going on around town right now?
I got to tell you, there's a lot going on. Tampa's going to be really busy the next few days.
Well, the Lightning are in the playoffs.
Lightning's are in they're in the playoffs, and also too, we have BTS coming to town for 3 nights at Raymond James. That is the Korean boys band who are able to book, and you're in the business or we're in the business. 3 nights at Raymond James sold.
Really?
They even moved the Tampa
Sold
Bay
out.
Buccaneer draft party to St. Petersburg Beach because they can't handle all the people coming to BTS. BTS is probably Asia's largest selling band of all time. And I don't mean like, Asia classic rock. I mean like Asia, the continent. And they're on a huge international world tour. From what I read, the boys just finished their mandatory military, came out of the military, and then all came back together. There's 7 of these guys, and they are international superstars in their own right.
How many stops are happening in the U.S.? Do you know?
I didn't go that far into them because then it would take me to a level of I know way too much about these guys. No. And being the unknown drummer, I have to say they are a very well-produced band. When you hear their music, it's like, you know what? It sounds really good, but they're an acapella 7-piece guy thing, and they sell on marketing and pop music, and
well, they have 57 events near the Tampa Bay area, if that says anything for it, according to StubHub.
So they're coming to town, and that's 3 nights. So, like I said, the draft party, which go Bucks. Who knew football season's almost here, guys?
Draft party.
There you go. The draft party was moved to St. Pete Beach.
I saw that, yeah.
So there's 2 hosting hotels, and then there's walk-on and stuff like that. I'm going to probably skip this year. I can't see it being as easy to navigate like Raymond James. Who else is coming to town? Wow, we have the Goo Goo Dolls are coming to town.
I am so excited. I know I'm not on camera, but I am so happy.
We have Kid Rock coming to town.
Really?
We have Pitbull coming to town. We have
I
salt.
just had some friends talking about that they're all going to Pitt.
We have Salt and Pepper coming to town.
I'm going to that actually.
And
Oh, they're
TLC.
great. They are totally
Me
great.
and,
It's going
me
to be a
and all my
monster
girls. Yeah.
few weeks coming into Tampa here. So, also too, we have a little update on Covington. If you live in the South Shore area, it's kind of shut down. And looks like they're moving forward on the houses and the apartments and the condos over there. So they've diverted some traffic through Watershed, and it's going to be Big Bend is not going to be a friendly place for a while.
They're what? I'm sorry. They're making condos in front of Covington.
Right over in Covington.
Man, the amount of people that are moving to this area is unbelievable. I just saw a stat the other day about the economic impact growth by state, and Florida is like an astronomical amount.
We brought in
above
800,000 people in the past 4 years, 4 to 5 years. 800,000 people came onto the rolls moving into Florida.
It's amazing the amount of building that's happening around here, and obviously the traffic too. But we live in where everybody wants to be, right? And we live in paradise, and
we do. I mean,
a lot of people work from home, and they're not adding to the traffic. So
I started the show like, it's beautiful here. It's 83 degrees. We have family and friends. You moved to Florida because you're one step away from giving a shit about anything. And I've always said that. And you call them up. It's April. It's like, oh, it's 42 degrees. 42 degrees. I want no part
That's
of
at 3
that.
o'clock in the afternoon.
yeah, but I think the really cool thing
I want
is
no
that,
part.
when people move, because I help a lot of people relocate and move here and all that. And even I moved here 14 years ago, and I was like, well, Apollo Beach seems like a good place because I was working out of Ellington, but I was also working in Tampa, and it was kind of the halfway point, right? But the reality is that I don't really leave this area very often unless like I have to for work. But
why would you?
Even personally, like we have a lot that's growing, but there's so many areas that are continuing to grow farther and farther out. So like Waimama and Balm and Parrish, right, is booming.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a place to be an entrepreneur right now, and that there's a lot of people around, Florida is a great place to be an entrepreneur. Because there are so many people moving here.
And we've had some great local businesses on the show. We're doing this for over 2.5 years. We've helped, I think, at least, 100, 120 people have been on the show. Thank you for joining us, Pearl.
I love this.
I would go on the women's retreat, but you know what?
Yeah, no men are allowed. We're gonna have one.
You'd have to cut your hair.
Two at the summit.
Ain't happening.
Oh, he is not cutting his hair. No
I
way.
think the hair would get me in.
Before you go into we're going to go, you said all the different stuff that's coming to Tampa. Let me just run down a few things.
Okay, this is Joanne beep from
because
Tampa
this
Bay
is
Sports
from
and Entertainment magazine.
The Rush Tribute Band was here on the 20th, but they're also on the 26th.
420, everybody.
Captain Nick, the Old Time Sailors, which is an interactive show, is going to be at the Tampa Theater. And that's literally, if you like being a pirate, this is the place to be a pirate. They are on the stage, in the audience. They do dancing. They do all of that. They make you part of their show. It's a really cool show. There's a video up on the Tampa Bay Sports Entertainment page. But coming in May, Dave Matthews, The Black Crow, Jason Mraz, Shinedown, Triumph, Bush, Kid Rock, OCC Bike Show. They have. We also have a white party at the casino with the 9/11 vets, Riverfest, Journey, you name it.
Yeah, even Journey's coming. It's I have a rock show. And if you looked at the lineup of who's coming to town now, and you looked at who was coming to town in 1987 or like 1992, it's the same bands. We just saw
Foreigner and Night Ranger.
Foreigner and Night Ranger.
Phenomenal.
You got Stuart Copeland from the Police touring. Alan Parsons we just saw. And then down that list, you think about Triumph. Come on.
And then
Journey, come on. These are the bands that we went to high school and college with, listening to these songs, and they're still touring today. They're still relevant. You have opportunities to catch these bands. They're not all the original members, but the experience is really great.
And I got to tell you, in June you've got Evanescence, you've got Chris Stapleton if you're a country person,
Yee-hoo.
Tom Kiefer from Cinderella, Josh Groban. The NFL draft is coming.
Go
you got the Caribbean Heritage Festival, and if you're super into soccer, FIFA World Cup. Go Scotland AF in Miami. Like you can't, there's so much to do. Yeah. And that only touches, I don't even have the comedians listed that are coming to
200 barbecues are going on, I'm sure.
There's
people taking their boats out.
Yep. I was going to say boating season's here. And if you remember the gentleman that
Jeff
had
Foxworthy is even coming. The bullship.
The bullship. Yeah, the bullship. Look for that out on the bay now that it's boating season.
Rabbit season.
This is the time that people live here for, right? And
This is the payoff.
and even
have
if
to
I
tell you,
don't go
there's
to
a lot going
those
on.
things because I'm jaded and I have a hard time after being in the entertainment world paying a lot of money for some of these tickets. It pains me.
Well, I will say this before you go further. Go to the Ruth Eckerd Hall experience. The Capitol, the Sound, and Ruth Eckerd, the tickets are reasonable.
They're reasonable.
It's also more intimate, and all of their money, the profits or whatever, all of it goes to funding children in entertainment, learning instruments,
they're
learning
great.
ballet.
They're great over there.
They're phenomenal.
continue.
We donate every year to them because of how much they do for the entertainment industry.
And there we have so many entrepreneurs that are out at our local restaurants and playing, right? So I was thinking about it the other night because someone said, well, what do you do? How do you not go out or outside of that area? And I'm like, almost every place we have has live music a lot of times,
Sure.
Salty Shamrock has a huge stage outside. Latitudes has live music. You got a DJ,
JJ Kicks.
You have music always at Little Harbor, at Sunset Grill, and Finn's has music. Sometimes Circles does. I mean,
sometimes Current Drive has music on Wednesday afternoons and Saturdays.
If you happen to be around Current Drive, you might hear a lot of drumming going on.
Howard the Unknown Drummer. And,
I mean, and even in Riverview, I know House
sure,
of Bottles has
Bottle House. And
tons of it. I went over the other day for
what's the place on the water?
Jimmy B's.
Woody's
Beach
on the
Bar.
river.
Woody's on the river down south.
Yoo-hoo.
There, if you just want to get out and listen to music, I mean, there's so many.
You can escape it. You can
town.
escape 45 minutes. You go in almost any direction. You will find some place that you cannot believe in Tampa.
But you will not get to Orlando.
You're not getting to Orlando.
Yeah, don't head that way.
But you
Don't
might.
go that way.
But you might find a
I-4 is
blueberry farm on the way. So that being said,
Keel and Curly.
we're heading there Saturday.
They've actually started.
Have you
to
been there
step up.
before?
We're,
Yeah,
go-
we
we're
went
actually we're actually going on Saturday because we're going to do some blueberry picking, and I want to see what their schedule because I noticed they've now got a lineup.
There you
They
go.
have a great
First.
restaurant there, by the way.
Really, I like to eat.
They have a great restaurant.
Oh, their
and
burger's phenomenal.
Go there and eat and flight of wine and totally local support there. But
Well, talking about
Well,
support,
even if you go to Ferg's over in St. Pete, they've now stepped up their music. Their music is freaking phenomenal over there.
please like and share our show. Please find us on Spotify. How do you like that, huh? South Shore Live on YouTube. If you like the show, you like to come on the show, we would love to have you on if you're in the South Shore area or somebody who services in the South Shore area. What more can I say? Check out Tampa Bay Sports and Entertainment Magazine. I want to thank everyone who came on the show today, everyone who's in the room here today. There you go. Also, go Bucks. And Teo, you're not here. You're here in spirit. We'll see you next week. Who are our guests next week?
Hi, Stacy. Hope you're all
can
good.
I give a shout out?
Absolutely.
So anybody who knows
Me? You don't have to.
You know, Howard, I love you.
I know.
That'll be what he records and put out on social media.
Over and over and over
Howard, I
again.
love you.
It'll be like a little.
And you know what? That's an amazing thing.
Right. Howard, I love you. Howard, I
Oh,
love
I
you.
was gonna
Howard, I
say,
love you.
if you know my son at all,
That's right.
Here in the South Shore area, 813 Detailing. He's a car detailer.
He's coming on the show.
And he's going to be coming on the show as soon as he comes home from college. He's
And-
studying
This is
hard
finals.
for finals right now.
Very cool.
But as soon as he gets through finals, the second week of May, he'll be home. And I already have people that have reached out to me and to him saying, how would I get on his schedule? I know he should be coming home soon. So these kids that are making their own businesses at a young age, and they're making an impact. And
Half of them are going to stay in that business. Other ones are going to say, you know what, I've had enough. I'm going to go to college or something else. And the chances are, let's say, you know what, I'm going to go back to what I know now and apply it to the industry I picked up. It's
So I have to tell you a quick story.
Go
I
ahead,
know
go
you
ahead.
want to be done. but
no. I just wanted to make that thing work.
When he went to college, he knew he wasn't going to do car detailing down there in Boca, and because he didn't know people, and he needed to study. But he said, "Mom, I want to go be a valet." And so he applied, couldn't get a job. And so he finally got a call back, and they said, "Well, we don't hire under 21." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He's never worked for anyone else. He's never interviewed for anyone else.
Okay.
And he called me and said, "Well, they don't hire under 21." And I said, "Did you ask him why?" And he said, "Well, no, they just told me." And I said, "Well, call her back and say, do you not hire under 21 because of insurance purposes? Because there's nothing you can do about that because he's not
Okay.
clean. But if it's personal preference, did you tell her you have an auto detailing business that you detail high-end cars and people trust you with their cars And
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
So he did. He picked up the phone and he called him back and said, "Can I just ask, is this because of insurance and I won't bother you again, or is it because of personal preference?" And she goes, "You're not wrong. It's personal preference. We just don't think, kids until they're 21 at least are mature enough to handle cars." And he said, "Well, I would ask you to check out my Instagram and some of the videos he's done in car detailing," and they hired him.
There you go.
And so don't always take no for an answer.
And who knows, maybe he'll be the guy that details those cars and goes at them both ways and say, hey, you know what? If any of these drops a little card in there, and every time he valets a car, you want this detail, they give you $25
You're
off.
also not wrong, because Five Below, our daughter works for Five Below. She started at 16 as a cashier.
Yes, she did.
And then by 18, she was what they called a key holder. That means she held the keys to a store.
Which had, $60,000, $100,000 worth of inventory.
They said
of candy.
They don't
all
allow
candy.
people normally under 21 to do that job. But she was so mature and so ready that she is the one and only person that's ever done it. Now, it doesn't mean someone else couldn't come along and do it. But you're right. If you don't ask the right questions, you won't get the right answers.
And sometimes just don't accept the no and ask why. Because even if they say no, we're not going to hire you, at least you know why, and you can use that to frame the next conversation you have or the next interview you go to. But if you need your car detailed, here's my shout out to my kid, 813 Detailing. He'll be back in mid-May.
And we will have him on the show.
We will have him on the show, but he is already getting people booking him up already, because the kid can't clean a bathroom. Let's be real, but he can clean your car.
But man, that car is just it's going to be spotless. Hey, can I do a shout out?
My girlfriend has a farm, and he's cleaned all their cars, and she's like, "Why don't you clean the farm truck?" And she came out and was like, "Oh my God, it looks new." He's really good at what he does. If you're looking for a car detail, he's a great kid.
And if you want to talk to him or any of the other people on this show and you can't remember or whatever, and you don't want to go back to Spotify or the YouTube videos or whatever, reach out to me, Joanne Duran, Tampa Bay Sports Entertainment, Angie, Howard, any of us, Theo Leonard. Reach out, because if one of us doesn't know, the other one does.
Trooper Duran.
Sure. And reach out to me, because I have everybody's information right now. So
that's really why we do this show.
There's no reason not to.
I'd like to shout out these kids too. They took the helm of our business that we started, and they're doing a great job. South Shore Cleaning and Supply, Todd, Bruce. They do the work themselves.
I just referred them for my latest listing, and my seller called me and said they were great, and everything looks great.
She
didn't want anybody to walk in. She's like, "It looks so good."
In realtor world, it's difficult because my wife is a realtor, but the business is where the realtors are, and if they can convey to somebody a few $100 goes a long way in presenting their house. I can't tell you, a few $100 goes a long way in presenting a house,
especially for pictures. When you're listing your home with somebody like Angie or myself,
come in there.
You need the boys to come in and clean that carpet,
deodorize, clean. And then, if you're taking some nice furniture away, you don't want to move dirty furniture into a new house. Great opportunity to let it dry in your old house, clean it, and then pack that up. And another thing too, little tip for the day: don't call 2 days before you're moving. 72 hours. You should at least let your furniture dry. When it's wrapped in plastic, you don't want that to mold out when you're going. A week and a half for rugs. Sounds crazy, but it's very moist here where we live.
You roll them up.
So you roll those things up, you're done. Those things are going to come back as like biological stew in your garage.
Yeah.
So
listen, the number one reason people buy houses a lot of times is because they'll say they took such good care of it.
Oh yeah.
And because there's a lot of houses out there. We all know that. And when they walk in and they're like, "Oh, this one was so well taken care of, they were meticulous." And it can be, that $200-$300 that you're going to spend on a cleaning is so worth it.
It is. Leave it to a professional. If you want your haircut to look good, go have somebody cut your hair. Don't use the Flowbee. Don't you want your room painted? Get a painter. Unless you like to paint, guess what? It's gonna look a lot better when they paint it.
Can I give a shout out to you really quick. Before we all came up here, you were had a mom moment with your son.
She did. It was great,
and it was so great because what you said to him, we forget as parents. Sometimes as parents, when the kids call, it's like, "You didn't do this, you didn't do that." You coached him through a challenge.
It was beautiful.
It was so cool to watch you coach him and reassure him, time block it, the advice you gave him about studying. and all that. And you actually like reassured to him, you can only control what you can control.
That's it.
Just do what you can do. I thought that was really cool. And I just want to shout that out to you
Thanks.
because
You're
that
gonna
was
make
a
me
great
cry.
moment.
100, you know what? 100%. I was listening to you. I was doing the dishes, putting all the stuff away because we eat before the show.
Where was Howard?
You were out in the garage.
Whoa.
We eat before the show, and I'm listening to the way you're
Oh.
handling the situation your son is in, and you 100% reassured him, said to him, "Dude, you need to study." However, what happens, and we'll work with what we have to work with. And most parents are like, if you don't get good grades, blah, blah, blah.
That would be me.
You did not do that.
Yeah.
You totally said, time block it out. You know, this is finished. You can talk to your friends all summer. Let's do what we got to do.
Knock it out of the
Well, I
park.
think the thing I've always tried to tell him and even my employees and everyone else, and I try to tell myself this too, is whatever it is you're going to do. And I think you guys heard me say this to him tonight. When you're done, if you get a C and you tried your absolute best, you got a C, and it's okay
That's
because
it.
it was your best.
Right.
And if
Right.
but if you got a C and you walk away and go, man, if I would have tried a little harder, I could have probably got a B because I didn't study that hard. Don't be that person, right? So my point to him was be all in for the next 2 weeks. You got finals right now. It's your end grade. These are he did 2 years in high school and got his gen eds out. So he went into his 4-year school with 2 years done. And so he's all
Way to
ready
go.
in
That's
those
awesome.
major classes, right?
Right.
Which is a lot. You're 19 years
Oh
old.
yeah, he's taking
It's
it.
your first year in college.
Yeah, your
he's
first year
taking
in
it. You
college,
know,
First year away.
He's
first time
he's
having
in the
a
varsity
job.
team as a freshman.
Yeah, he was, and well, he was in football, but
Well, and
Um,
now he's doing it, you know, educationally wise.
but I for parenting or even your employees or anybody else, like at the end of the day, not everybody's perfect, and not everybody's going to get it out. And he's doing classes that 21-year-olds are doing
Yeah.
because he's
Right.
2 years ahead. And I actually told him not to do it in high school, and he was like, "No, Mom, I'm doing it." And I was like, "Well, it's on you because I can't help you. All the books are online now. I don't even know what they teach anymore."
Right.
So I was like, "I am not. I am of zero help." So
I still
and
haven't found X.
And the 99% that has fallen out of my head since then, I have no idea what they're teaching anymore.
No,
So,
my
but
parents, I
he
thought that
did it
was
on his
really cool.
own,
Yeah,
and-
that was so cool.
and I'm super proud of him for that. And if getting a C right now, he's struggling in calculus, and I would struggle in calculus at 50 years old.
Of course.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you gave it everything you had, and
I
you
love
can walk away
algorithms.
and know you gave it everything you had, and that's all I can ask of him or anyone else is walk away and know you gave it everything you had. And then you can feel like, you know what, I earned that C, and thank God I didn't get a D.
And that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's
That honestly,
so cool.
that's what you said. We all heard you, and it was 100% beautiful because most kids don't get to hear that. Before we wrap up, Pearl, tell them again exactly how they can get hold of you.
Oh, you can go. I'm all over social media. Pearl Charenza. Just look up Pearl Review. But you can text me at 813-449-3308, 813-449-3308, or Coach Pearl at wsliving.com.
Okay, your phone number has been underneath since I went back behind the
Right.
bar.
And like I
'cause
think,
here I am.
like I like to say every day in every show, good morning, don't be a shitty person. It's for every day. If you need a shirt, reach out to me. And if you can't afford one, I'll send you one.
It costs nothing.
Somebody
All right.
the other day
So, and-
randomly bought my Taco Bell here in Apollo Beach.
Oh, no way.
It costs nothing to be
wasn't
positive.
wasn't kindness day or anything else, but I pulled up and the lady goes, "Well, it's not Tuesday for tacos, but the person in front bought your tacos." And I was like,
Wow.
I love where I live.
It's
It's all
funny.
right.
Yeah.
It's so funny
Yep,
you said
exactly.
that. Just real quick. There's a lady in Winthrop Shopping Center at the Starbucks that she's always sitting there, and I don't know her story, but I just realized the other day when I went by, I'm like, she's been there like a week now. So tomorrow I'm gonna go by and just be like, sit down next to her and probably buy a cup of coffee and just tell me your story. So we have to stop and do that sometimes. Just tell me your story.
Just be careful.
Yeah, I'll be careful.
Yeah, you might need 10 minutes or an
You
hour.
know,
but-
Also, we're going to run the disclaimer after that.
Right,
one.
but we are. But I also want to shout out Ali Serrano with Ali Serrano
Woohoo.
Portraits, just taking most of our photos here.
She
Even
made-
when I made Howard show up because she's really good at being sneaky.
She made me look gorgeous.
Yes, and she's
Takes a
really good
lot.
at being sneaky. You can tell your husband they're going to be part of the photo, like they're going to help out at the photo shoot, and suddenly they're part of the photo shoot.
Yeah, but it was kind of awkward. I showed up in the Speedo and everyone was like, "What's going on?"
Stop,
This is
stop,
not
stop.
And then
stop. No, no, no.
I'm like, I didn't get the
No,
right
that
invitation,
did
did
not
I?
happen. You can
This is
see the
not the
pictures on
visual.
there.
This is not the
No.
visual I needed tonight.
And
But she's doing my photos coming up.
and
There you
she's
go.
doing she's doing your photos. And
However, I
also-
don't have somebody showing up in a Speedo because
No, and
But
Howard
willing,
will,
Roll it in
will
by
not
I was
myself.
allow him
but
to.
willing to learn.
And I also want to shout out Pierre because he handles the Tampa Bay Sports Entertainment website, among other websites that he does the South Shore Cleaning. He does the
Stop.
Find Your Own Passion. He does a really, really good job, and he's good at SEO and everything else. I mean, I don't know all the list of things he does.
And Mother's Day is
And
coming
then
up.
Mother's Day is coming up, so you
Mitchell,
want
are you listening?
to go to Find Your. Well, I don't think you want your son.
Mitchell.
No, I was talking about Mother's Day.
Mother's
Mitchell,
Day
coming
go to,
up.
If you're
And
a
then you went into
husband-
pure passion. So
I did
Mitchell.
because here's the thing.
Even
Mother's Day,
You
the best
can
shaving
do-
cream ever. I'm all right with that.
FindYourOwnPassion.com with Trish Tucker. She
Great Mother's Day
she has
presents.
she has like muscle rub and chafe escape, and she's got a lot of great things that you can do and give to your mom and not be awkward.
Shaving, best shaving cream ever.
Best shaving cream in the freaking world. And I will say, if you're a husband, you definitely need to call her and talk. You know, she will get you the right things. But also, it's wedding season is coming up because we have two lovebirds here that are getting married in June. That would be Pierre and Allie. But Trish also makes these great boxes that are beautifully done for wedding showers and for just
makes you want to get married again.
Hey, can I piggyback on that?
Sure.
So
You can.
a great gift for your mom in your life is also the retreat or the summit. We do have gift cards too. So
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That
That
is
is a
they can
great
get you a
gift.
gift card for the
Send your
summit.
mother away for a few
Send
days.
your-
There you go.
Hey, quite honestly, I did go to I went to the retreat, and there were things that were, not everything's going to be for everybody, but there were so many good things about the retreat. You made me sit on a beach. I know. I keep saying that, but I don't. I'm a redhead. I'm
I
She
like
white.
doesn't.
I'm
you do
Scottish.
things that make you uncomfortable, but it's the best thing in the world for you.
Right.
Honestly, though,
And it relaxes
helping your
you.
mom be better at herself it gives back to the kids too. So I think
100%.
that's a really great gift. And if my son is listening by any chance, because he does make his own money, Danielle, who is an entrepreneur in this area
and
and
she
does
Best
the best massages,
Phenomenal.
and she comes to your house and gives the best massages of all time. I'm just saying that would be a great idea too
And-
from an entrepreneur around here.
Let's thank the kids for coming on tonight too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sitter
absolutely. The
Sitter
girls- and it-
sisters.
You know what? Maybe you also could, if mom and dad or mom's going away, whoever, have them come watch the cats and dogs.
Yeah.
So they don't have to think about that. Because that is one thing as pet parents that we have an issue with is that we go away and we leave our babies.
We can't bolt away for a weekend.
It's
You
it's
just can't.
hard. We have,
3-day
these
weekend.
babies sitting at home and we have Howard and I have two grown children. So,
And
they
two
coulda left-
grandpuppies and two grandkitties.
two grandpuppies and four
4 grandkitties.
No,
wow.
Who got the new puppy?
Christy and Todd. Howard, I gotta say, wait, let
I
me shout
tried.
this out.
I tried.
Howard keeps putting up on Facebook these dogs that we are not getting because they belong to somebody else.
I thought I was coming here tonight to a new puppy Snuggles. What the
I
hell?
thought I was coming home to a new puppy, and then I realized when I looked at my Ring camera, it was the neighbor's dog. He was showing everybody the neighbor's
Because I
dachshund
wanted to see
puppy.
if Charlie would work well with them.
This all went
Christie's.
this whole show just went awry, but it's all right.
I gotta tell you, well, our daughter actually, the Fish Hawk Rescue. Our daughter is now officially a foster fail. She's the longest going foster parent that did not fail until this last one. So
Failing means she kept the dog.
she kept the dog, and
She's still going to be
honestly,
fostering dogs. She's still going
Well-
to be fostering dogs, but she just actually
yes,
kept
but she
one of them.
finally failed, and they couldn't believe how long she went without foster failing.
I mean, she had honestly 14 of the cutest dogs. One wave after the next wave. Of the next wave is like, oh, these dogs are so cute. The next week comes, oh, these are so cute. Oh my God, this one looks
But
like an
then-
Oreo, and the
but-
next one's coming like,
But then the one she foster failed on looks as a puppy looks exactly like her current dog that she has.
So she has a type.
So she has a type. She's like every woman. She's got a type.
Oh, we're supposed to have a type.
Oh, we have a type. We don't always realize it, but we have a type. See,
Maybe
my
I need to go to the summit and I'll figure
my-
out my type.
my type is long-haired drummers. I just have a thing, and I didn't realize it.
Yep,
It
we
started
figured
back
that
in
out.
high school, a junior high actually. Long-haired drummers. I have a type.
well, good night, everybody. We hope to see you next
Go
week.
find your type.
We have a,
Yes, go
and
find
again,
your type, and hopefully it's furry.
yeah, and we'll see you next week with Teo.
Do we know who's
Angie?
on next week?
Next week we've got Trudy coming on, and we have
Hold on, I actually have the schedule with me tonight. So next week we are supposed to have Master Purveyors,
Oh, no way.
Pool Works, and then Trudy.
There you go. Pool Works, I got to say, again, local business, great
they were
guy.
phenomenal.
He was actually here today. He's got a great service. I'll tell you about him. And
Yeah, he did us
he
super
he done
solid,
he done
Pool
he done a
Works.
solid to us. I mean,
Yeah.
straight up honest, no bullshit, Calvary like. And
Yup,
again, that's
I got an
Baby
awesome
Teo.
over here too.
All right, guys, we're gonna see you next week, and we got some great guests. So like the show and have a great week, and don't be shitty to anyone. Bye bye.
Hey, Kim, who made my pajamas on ChatGPT, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will put them
Pajamas.
online, and thanks for watching tonight, guys.
Yep. Thanks,
Have a great
Angie.
night.
Bye. Thank
Welcome
Bye.
back.